Good morning, CAC. I hope you had a great week. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the videos that I'm posting of a very famous Christmas song. I'm pretty positive every single one of you have heard this at some point. The song is called Carol of the Bells. Now, when we hear this song, there's so many different versions. You may not even realize that they're the same, and we're going to talk about 3 different variations on the exact same song. But let's talk about where the song came from. So Carol of the Bells was originally written by a Ukrainian composer. His name was Mykola Leidovich, and he is a Ukrainian composer. So Ukraine is like, it's kind of near Turkey and the Dead Sea. It's over kind of near Russia, and there's a lot of music influence that we have from there because church is there. They had big, almost orchestras that they would sponsor, and they would work and create beautiful music. So for this Christmas concert, the composer wrote this piece based on Ukrainian chants that they used in the church. So a chant is usually pretty repetitious. It means it has the same few notes over and over again. So basically, they took Mr. Leidovich, he took 4 notes that you would recognize when you hear today, and he kind of put them into this song. Now, originally there were no words. It was sung kind of either with your voice ba 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 bum bum ba ba bum bum ba ba bum 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 ba bum, or with handbells. Now, this type of a bell is a modern version of what they would have used. Real handbells a lot of times have like a leather strap and a handle that you would hold, and you usually wear gloves because the metal that they're made with you don't want to touch with your hands. And this actually has a spring in it, so I won't accidentally make the sound, but let's listen to it real quick. That's pretty cool. And they all have these different pitches. They go up and down. And handbells like what I have are very simplified compared to what they would have used. Bells had been around for centuries, hundreds and hundreds of years. They were used in Bible times. We have today jingle bells. That's another type of bell, right? But a lot of times we associate bells with Christmas. So let's just talk about that. So this song, the Carol of the Bells, that you would recognize that 4-note dun 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 dun, and it repeats over and over and over again, and it's kind of exciting and fun. Well, that song, it got really popular, and it was originally, when he wrote it, it was in 1919. So it's not quite as old as some of the other pieces that we have, especially at Christmas time. But it got so popular, and once it came over to like the United States, there was this big concert for the radio, right? Before TVs, we had radio where you just listened. And as they were putting together this big orchestrated concert, they decided they wanted words. So an American man wrote some words for Carol of the Bells. Hark, hear the bells, sweet silver bells. And he wrote words that went with each of those bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum, bum ba-da-dum. And it became this really fun piece that you could listen to and hear all about Christmas time and how the bells fit into that. And it was for radio because that was the avenue that they had. If you couldn't watch them play the handbells, you could listen to it and you could hear about it. So the original piece, I have a version of that sung a cappella, so without instruments at all. You're going to watch that first, and that's in a big cathedral, so it's echoey and really, really pretty. So I want you to listen to that. And then once you're done with that version, I want you to watch a second version of the same song, but that version is by the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which is a rock band, actually, that incorporates elements of orchestra, right? So you'll see string instruments and you'll see big grand pianos and a conductor, right, leading the music. And they, as a band, got really popular in the 90s. They were formed as a rock band in 1996, and their style itself is kind of this combination. They combine classical orchestra sounds with modern electric guitars and drums and the idea of like a rock concert, right? So one of the big things they use is lots of color and laser beams and lots of images and pictures and projections. It's really exciting to watch. So you're going to watch their music video of that song, the song Carol of the Bells, which is all orchestrated, no singing. And the last video I want you to watch is the same song. However, it is a private Christmas light show. Have you ever put Christmas lights up at your house? Or maybe driven around town to look at all the pretty lights? Well, some people actually take music and connect it with programming to their lights, their Christmas lights, outside of their house. And a few years back, that became really popular, and it's easier to do now, but it does take a lot of time and energy and a lot of creativity. So even if it's the same song, it feels very different in all three of these versions. And it's kind of fun. I want you, when you watch that third one, the light show, it's just someone's house where they put up Christmas lights. However, they interpreted the music themselves, right? So they kind of listened to it and thought about, okay, what colors go with this moment? And how bright should we make it? I want you to look at the levels and see how different it feels. And all of this came from Bells. Have a great day. Bye-bye.